Hello everyone, my name is Bhavna Singh. I am working as an assistant professor at St. Andrews Institute of Technology and Management, Gurgaon. This is an online tutorial on software engineering. So let's begin with today's session. The topic for today's session is risk management in software engineering. Students, in today's session we will cover these topics of Unit 2, that is what is risk, what are the various categories of risk factors, what is risk management and risk management principles. Now first of all, let us understand what is a risk. A risk is any undesirable event that can occur during a project. It is an exposure to loss, a factor, thing, element that involves uncertain danger. That means the risk, it is a problem that could cause some loss or that can damage the project or that can damage the progress of the project, but it has not happened yet. Means there is a probability that during the execution of the process or during the development process these risks might occur, and these problems, they can damage or they can cause the loss to the entire progress of the project. Therefore we call it as a risk is any potential situation that could negatively affect a project's ability. That means it can cause some loss or it can damage the success of the entire project. It has not happened yet, but there is a probability that it can occur somewhere in the future. Now these are the categories of risk. The first one is project risk, second is technical risk, and the third is business risk. We will discuss each one of them in detail, but before discussing them, let us take an example of risk to get a more clear picture of what is a risk actually. Suppose in a project development there might be a problem that during the development there may be a shortage of resources, or you can say the system becomes over budget, or the system was not delivered on time, it was extended the time limit. So all these are the potentials that can cause the failure of the entire system or the failure of the entire software. So these are the kind of risk that can occur during the development process. Or let's take another example that we have not been able to select the people with the right technical skills, and because of that the entire system, it goes crash down or it goes out of control to monitor these risks. So these are the basic points that can lead to the failure of the systems. Now let us understand what are the various categories of risk. The first one is the project risk. Project risk is related to the you can say various sorts of money related problems, that is the monetary fund or schedule of the system or the personal resources, customer related issues. So all these issues, they can concern the project risk. Then the second category is the technical risk. Technical risk, it includes the risk regarding the implementation or regarding the testing process, regarding the maintenance issues. These are all the technical risk. Then the third one is the business risk. This type of risk is the we have built an excellent product or we have built an extraordinary product that nobody needs, and therefore in building that excellent product or the extraordinary product we have lost our entire budget and we have lost our entire personal commitments, all these things. So this type of risk, they can include the business risk. These are the various factors that can cause the occurrence of risk. We will discuss each one of them. The first one is dependency. Dependency means if there is a dependency between the intergroup components or the intra-group components, and there is a dependency upon the customer based information, that without that information we can't do anything. And the most important is if there is a non-availability of trained or you can say the experienced people, then we become a dependent on them or we become dependent on the technical skills of those people. But the inavailability of those experienced people might cause the entire system to fail or might be responsible for the occurrence of risk in the future development process. Then the second is requirement related issues. This may also call the occurrence of risk, because if we do not have any clear project vision, or if the priority of requirements is not in a proper way, and we don't have the that much requirements that are required to fulfill all the customers demand. And if there are rapidly changing expectations of the customer, then it will become very much difficult to complete all those tasks on the required time. So due to these lack of clear project vision, or lack of priority of requirements, or rapidly changing expectations of the customer, might cause the system failure. Then the next we have the management related issues. Suppose if there are conflicts between the staff members, or if there is a no communication among the staff members, then they'll not able to fulfill the development, or they'll not able to do the development process. And if the managers, they have unrealistic expectations from the product or from the process, and they are doing the unrealistic commitments with the customers, so this might also lead to risk factors. And these are the basic management related issues that can cause the risk, or you can say that can cause the occurrence of risk. Then the next factor is lack of knowledge. For example, if the employees that are working in the development process, that they are not that much skilled, or they have inadequate training, or they have lack of experience in certain applications, and they have lack of understanding of certain tools and techniques, and they do not know how to use those techniques, or how to use those tools. So this is also a kind of failure that can occur in the development process. Then the next we include other risk factors, like if there are no proper testing facilities, or if there are no proper performance requirements are there, so this might also cause the occurrence of risk in the system. And once the risk occurs, then this entire system, it goes crash down, and it goes shuts down. Now so far we have discussed that what is risk, what are the various categories of risk, or what are the various factors that can cause the risk. So there is a possibility in the development process that the risk may occur, or it may be a possibility that it might damage the entire system. So there must be some planning, or there must be some identification process that can control these occurrence of risk. So therefore we have a risk management process that will use to identify, or you can say that can control the occurrence of risk to some extent. So we use risk management process, and it is a process of identifying and eliminating the risk problems before they can damage the project. This risk management tries to ensure that the impact of risk on cost, quality, and schedule is minimal. That means risk management is a technique with which, or that can be used to control these potential risk, or that can be used to eliminate these risk problems by having the or you can say by using some tools and techniques, or by using some processes and methods that can deal with all these kinds of risk, and they can prevent the entire system from damage. So, and this the process of risk management, it consists of a series of steps that will help the software development team to understand and manage the all kinds of risk, or to manage the uncertainty that can happen during the development process. So therefore, in short, we can say that risk management is a technique that can help, or that it is all about developing certain strategies in order to prevent, or you can say in order to control or minimize these possibility or these occurrence of risk. Now these are the activities that are involved in risk management process. Risk management, it consists of two activities basically, that is risk assessment and risk control. In this, the risk assessment is further categorized into risk identification, risk analysis, risk prioritization, and risk control is further categorized into risk management planning, risk monitoring, and risk resolution. We will discuss in the coming slides one by one each of these activities in detail. Now let us discuss the first activity, that is risk assessment. The risk assessment, it can be consist of these following two activities, that is the risk identification and the risk analysis and prioritization. So first we will discuss about the risk identification. It refers to examining a project and identifying areas of potential risk. Then it produces a list of the project risk items. That means what we have to do first, we have to examine the entire project, and then we identify all the risk or the different risk that might occur in the software project. And after examining the project and after identifying all the risk, what we do, we make a list of all these risk that might occur, because sometimes what happens that it becomes difficult, or there is a chance that new risk they may come in during the development process. So what we do, we make a list of the entire risk that may affect the software project. Then after identifying these risks, we perform the second activity, that is risk analysis and prioritization. In risk analysis, it assesses the loss probability and loss magnitude for each identified risk. That means after identifying all the risk and making the list, we analyze these risks and we set a priority to all these risks based on their likelihood of occurrence or based on their impact, that how much they can impact a product. So these are prioritized according to their rank, and we assign a rank order. You can say rank means order. We assign an order to all these risks that are identified and analyzed. Now there might be a question that what is the importance or what is the use of providing these order to all these risks, because it helps the managers so that they'll be able to find that what risk events are the high priority, and they will help to prevent them, or they will consider those risks first, or those risks that have the higher priority of occurring, and they'll try to reduce them or minimize them. So that means the critical risk or the higher priority risk, they are deal with them first, and the less priority or the other risk, they may be delayed for the some time. Then the second activity of the risk management is risk control. In this we'll discuss that how to control all these occurrence of risk. So in risk control, what we do, we manage all the risk so that we can achieve the desired output, and it consists of these following activities. That is, the first one is risk management planning. In risk management planning, what is done, that proper planning is done to avoid the occurrence of risk, and this planning, it helps to turn risk information into decisions. Now what happens in this risk management planning, that we do the proper planning of that how we can avoid or how we can ignore the occurrence of these risks, and on the basis of these proper planning, it will help us to maintain, or it will help us to make some decisions, so that it will be helpful for the managers also to look into the risk control strategies, or they can make some strategies so that they'll be able to control these risks. Then the second activity is risk monitoring and risk resolution. Now these risks, they are monitored to see whether the risk management initiatives are going to be right or not, and this risk resolution is the execution of the plan for dealing with each risk. Now what we are doing in risk monitoring, we are monitoring the entire project, and we are monitoring the entire risk, that to see whether those activities that we have planned, or whether those decisions that we have made are right or wrong. Or the software managers, they monitor that whatever plans they have made, whatever planning they have made, or you can say whatever strategies they have planned, is it going to work or not for this type of risk. So they monitor all these activities, and then finally what happens in risk resolution, that once they have done with these monitoring process and all the planning process, they start executing the plan that they have made for the risk controlling, and they start executing those plans for dealing with each risk. Now to handle all the risk in an effective manner, or for the effective risk management techniques, we need certain principles that need to be applied. The first one is global perspective. In this global perspective, what we do, we review the entire bigger system for the description, design and implementation, and we look at the chance and the impact that the risk is going to have on our project. Then the second is forward looking view. This forward looking view, it considers the threat or the damages that may appear in the future, and for those threats or for those damages, we create the future plans for directing the next event, so that we will be able to control the risk. Then the next is the open communication. This allows us to freely communicate between the clients or to freely communicates with the managers and the team members, so that they have the certainty about the risk and everybody knows about the occurrence of these risks. Then the next is integrated management. In this method, all the risk management is made and as an integral part of the project management. And what we do, we adopt various risk management methods and tools and techniques to the project infrastructure, so that we'll be able to handle them efficiently. Then the next is the continuous project. In this continuous process, during this phase, all the risks, they are tracked continuously throughout the risk management process. And how we do this tracking, we identify and manage all the risk by continuously, or you can say regularly, throughout the all phases of the life cycle of the project. Then the next is shared product vision. This shared product vision means that we are focusing on the final results, and we are having a vision that is based on common goals and collective commitments and shared ownership, and we are entirely focused on the result only. Then the last principle is the teamwork. Teamwork means working cooperatively or working with each other in order to achieve a common goal, like providing trainings or providing skills to the employees or sharing knowledge with each other for the success of the project. So these are the basic principles that we need to apply in order to effectively handle this risk and in order for the efficient risk management. Now next we will discuss about the risk management paradigm. Paradigm means that we are providing a kind of model with which help us to control these risks, or which help us to minimize these risks, and how this risk management techniques occurs, or how this risk management process is used to control the occurrence of risk. So we are explaining this with the help of a model. As you can see in this figure also, that there are various phases like identify, analyze, plan, track, control. So all these are the phases that throughout the risk, and we have to maintain all these phases, or we have to apply all these phases in order to control the occurrence of risk. Now the first phase is identify. Identify means identifying or searching for the particular risk before they create a major problem in the software project. So it is necessary to identify those areas of risk. Then the second is analyze. Analyze means we understand the risk, or we analyze the risk that we have identified, or we understand the kind of risk, and we try to gather all the information about those risks. That means we are doing a complete analysis of the identified risk. Then the third is plan. Plan means how we can convert these our actions, or how we can implement certain actions in order to minimize these risks. That means we have to do some planning in order to control the occurrence of these risks. Then the next is track. Track means we need to monitor the necessary actions, or we need to track the occurrence of these risks, so that we'll be able to minimize them. Then the next is control. Control means we have to make necessary arrangements, or you can say we have to take necessary actions, so that we'll be able to control these risks. Then the last phase is the communication. That means after going through all these phases of the risk management model, we need to communicate these emerging risks and the potential risk that can occur, and what can we do the planning, or what will be the plans to undertake all those risks. We need to communicate it with the team members, or we need to communicate with the senior managers or the customers as well. So this is how the entire risk management process continues to prevent or to minimize the occurrence of risk. Now these are the various advantages of the risk management process. The first one is minimization of risk. As we are identify all the risks that are likely to occur during the development process, and we'll able to identify those areas, so to some extent we will minimize these risks to some extent, and we will control these risks so that they'll not damage the entire project. Then by minimizing these risks, we save a cost and our time also, because if these risks are not controlled on time, if these risks are not eliminated on time, then we have to make the entire development again and again, which leads to the wastage of money as well as the wastage of time. Then knowledge of a budget. This means that if we have a effective risk management plan, so it will allow all the managers so that they'll explore new ways that how the project can go over budget. So it will help them to or they need to calculate the amount of fund they will require in case of this situation, like if in case of any risk occurs. Then the next is determining predetermined responses to problems. For example, if anything happens in between of the project development, for example a team member may have to leave, or there may be a scarcity of resources, then in that case the managers, they have to develop responses in order to handle these unfavorable events. Now students, these are the important questions that can be framed based on today's lecture. The first one is, you have to explain why risk management is important in software project development. Then the second question is, what are the various activities of risk management? In this you have to explain all the activities like risk assessment, risk control, and how they are further categorized into various activities. So you have to mention all these activities where their uses. So students, it is important for all of you also to consider these questions as important, because many times they have been asked in the university exams also. So students, we are ending today's session here only. I hope you have understood all the concepts of risk management and risk management activities and why they are important in the development process. In the next session, we will continue with the unit 3, and the topics will be cohesion and coupling. Till then, you all of you take care of yourself and keep learning. Thank you so much for watching.